380 CE, Rome. Beneath the city, a hidden war was waged. A formidable rival faith faced deliberate obliteration. They sealed it, and they never explained why. As the sun rose over the eternal city, casting long shadows across the cobblestone streets, the sounds of hammers echoing from beneath the basilicas of Rome hinted at a different kind of construction, one that would conceal rather than reveal. Rome is a city built on countless layers of history, but some layers were not gently accumulated by time. These were violently suppressed. We speak of Mithraism, a Roman mystery religion that flourished from the 1st to 4th centuries CE. This cult, known for its strict secrecy, was primarily male, drawing its followers from soldiers, merchants, and imperial administrators who had seen the darker corners of the world and sought a deeper truth. Its adherents met in small, dark, subterranean temples known as Mithraea, often constructed in cellars, natural caves, or artificial grottos beneath existing buildings, where the faint scent of damp earth and mold mingled with the incense of their rituals. The clandestine nature of these meeting places allowed the cult to maintain its mysteries and rituals away from public scrutiny, fostering a deep sense of camaraderie among initiates who shared in the secrets of the tauroctony. Christianity emerged, gaining momentum by the late 3rd century CE, its promise of salvation and redemption resonating with the hopes and fears of a people worn by centuries of war and imperial turmoil. It achieved official tolerance with the Edict of Milan in 313 CE, then became the state religion with the Edict of Thessalonica in 380 CE under Emperor Theodosius I, who saw in Christianity a unifying force that would bolster the crumbling foundations of the Roman Empire. The question remains, why was Mithraism not merely replaced by the new dominant faith, but actively and physically buried beneath the very foundations of its Christian conqueror? What compelled the nascent Christian empire to erase this rival so thoroughly? These subterranean temples were not simply abandoned, they were often deliberately filled with earth, rubble, and even shattered cult images, their sacred spaces desecrated and defiled in a ritual of suppression. They were then systematically built over, their secrets locked beneath the very stones of the Christian basilicas that rose above. This systematic demolition suggests a suppression far more deliberate and extensive than mere religious conversion, a calculated attempt to erase the very memory of Mithraism from the city's collective consciousness. But here's what they didn't tell you: Mithraism was a highly organized and widespread cult, a genuine spiritual contender, not a fringe sect. It was an exclusively male cult, appealing to key segments of Roman society. Soldiers, for instance, found its discipline and hierarchical structure familiar, with evidence appearing in military camps like the Castra Praetoria in Rome and along the empire's frontiers, such as at Dura Europos in Syria. Merchants and imperial administrators also found a spiritual home in its ranks, connecting across vast distances. Initiates progressed through 7 hierarchical grades: Corax, Raven, Nymphus, Bridegroom, Miles, Soldier, Leo, Lion, Perses, Persian, Heliodromus, Sunrunner, and Pater, Father. Each grade had distinct rituals and symbolic attire. Archaeologists have uncovered approximately 400 Mithraea or Mithraic monuments across the Roman Empire, with over 100 located within the city of Rome alone. The extensive network, coupled with a structured initiation system, indicates a powerful, ingrained spiritual presence throughout Roman society. Christianity's triumph wasn't over a minor cult but a significant, embedded religious force with a deep reach across the empire. Look closer at the architecture. The central image of Mithraism, the tauroctony, was more than mythology, it may have encoded advanced astronomical knowledge. The tauroctony, found in virtually every Mithraeum, depicts Mithras sacrificing a bull, surrounded by specific celestial symbols. You see courts and quarterpates, the torchbearers, positioned to represent the spring and autumn equinoxes, often holding torches pointed up and down respectively. A dog, snake, raven, and scorpion are also present, aligning with constellations like Canis Minor, Hydra, Corvus, and Scorpius. The cult had no known sacred texts, its beliefs are primarily gleaned from this iconography and the architectural layout of the Mithraea, which often mirrored celestial arrangements. Scholars like David Ulansey propose the tauroctony is a complex astronomical diagram, specifically representing the precession of the equinoxes, linking the figures to constellations and celestial bodies. Such a deep cosmological understanding, embedded within the cult's primary icon, challenges the simplistic narrative of paganism as mere superstition. It suggests a rival faith with profound intellectual depth, making its suppression all the more significant and, perhaps, more urgent for the emerging Christian order. The official record stops here. The San Clemente Basilica offers direct physical proof of deliberate entombment, layer upon layer. In 1867, Irish Dominican prior Father Joseph Maluli, searching for a natural spring, stumbled upon a remarkably preserved 2nd century Mithraeum beneath a 4th century church. This church itself forms the foundation for the current 12th century basilica. The Mithraeum, situated roughly 15 meters below modern street level, included a well-preserved tauroctony altar, ritual benches designed for communal meals, and a school of Mithras, known as a schola, for instruction. The archaeological record undeniably shows the Mithraeum was deliberately filled with earth, building debris, and household waste, creating a stable platform for the Christian structures directly above it. The immense infilling represented a conscious, multi-generational act of burial and supersedure, not natural decay or simple abandonment. The sheer scale of the earthworks required to fill such a large subterranean space speaks volumes about the determination behind its concealment. And that's where the story changes. Rome's pattern of discoveries reveals a widespread, systematic campaign to bury and erase Mithraic sites. One such example is the Mithraeum of Santa Prisca on the Aventine Hill, discovered in 1959 beneath a 5th century Christian church. This site features rare frescoes depicting the 7 grades of initiation, providing invaluable insights into Mithraic rituals. A few decades earlier, the Circus Maximus Mithraeum was unearthed in 1931 during road construction, confirming the cult's presence in a central public space. The Baths of Caracalla Mithraeum, discovered in 1912, showed its integration into prominent imperial structures. These sites, along with others like the Palatine Hill Mithraeum from 1936 and the Castra Praetoria Mithraeum, were typically found filled with rubble, shattered cult images, and construction debris. Here's what makes that claim impossible: these were acts of systematic destruction, not merely practical construction. The consistent context of deliberate infilling, often beneath new Christian structures or public works projects, indicates a concerted effort by Christian authorities after 380 CE to physically obliterate the rival faith. No explanation was ever given for the sheer scale of this deliberate erasure, suggesting an intentional suppression of historical memory. Mithraism, despite its Persian name, was largely a Roman invention. It shared unsettling similarities with early Christianity, perhaps fueling its violent suppression. Modern scholarship, particularly the work of Franz Cumont in the early 20th century, confirms Roman Mithraism bore little direct resemblance to Persian Zoroastrianism. It was a unique Roman development drawing on various Hellenistic and Mesopotamian influences. This Roman cult shared superficial similarities with early Christianity, including forms of baptism, communal ritual meals resembling communion, a concept of sacrifice and redemption, and beliefs in the soul's immortality, heaven and hell, and a final judgment. Sunday was considered a sacred day, and December 25th marked the birth of Mithras. Early Christian apologists like Justin Martyr and Tertullian frequently accused Mithraism of being a demonic imitation of their own faith, a counterfeit of the sacraments. The shared doctrines and ritual practices suggest a direct, fierce competition for converts within the same cultural milieu. The aggressive entombment might stem from a desire to eradicate a spiritual rival that was too similar, rather than one that was simply t'other, thus removing any potential for theological confusion or syncretism and reinforcing Christian theological supremacy. The Roman Empire, now Christian, could not tolerate a rival that looked too much like itself. Many of Rome's ancient Mithraea are preserved today, often accessible beneath modern churches or within archaeological parks. They exist as subterranean museums, allowing glimpses into a once vibrant spiritual world. Ongoing archaeological work continues to uncover new sites, with recent discoveries even in Ostia Antiqa. Scholars painstakingly reconstruct the mysteries of Mithraism through the archaeological record, analyzing iconography and inscriptions. Public tours, like those at San Clemente, offer direct access to these buried layers of history. Researchers like Roger Beck and David Ulanzi continue to illuminate its complex symbolism and rituals, piecing together a story deliberately fragmented by centuries of concealment. The official narrative of Christian triumph often glosses over the intense, deliberate physical suppression of paganism. It fails to explain the profound commitment to not just defeat Mithraism, but to bury and erase its physical presence, often using its very remnants as foundations for the new faith. Such an act was more than practical, it was a potent, symbolic declaration of total victory and oblivion for the vanquished. Rome's Mithraea serve as a powerful testament that history is often built upon deliberate acts of concealment. They connect to a global pattern of forgotten structures below ground, revealing that dominant narratives often require the literal burial of inconvenient truths or powerful rivals. The ancient temples are still there, a silent testament to a hidden war. You can't go inside. The empire attempted to bury an entire faith, but its secrets persist. Below street level, the Rome you know is not the only one.